What is going on, anglers? Welcome back down to the creek with me today. I would just like to go over my top 5 biggest pet peeves that I have personally experienced while out fishing. Let's get started. And starting off the list in the number 5 slot is probably the most obvious pet peeve of them all. It is simply rude fishermen. I think we all remember that one guy that made a really negative impression on us while fishing. The instance I'm talking about, my brother and my best friend can both vouch that this guy has been the worst fisherman we've ever experienced in the years that we've lived in this area. He walked directly across the pond at us after we've been fishing in this spot for probably about 45 minutes, and he looked each of us dead in the eye and would cast his spinnerbait right at our feet, literally like a foot away from our feet at the shore, and just walk on and look at the next person and do the same. And he just did that and walked on his way. He probably traveled to get to the pond. He was not happy that we were there, but sadly you want to treat people the same way that you want to be treated, and even though it might be frustrating coming upon another fisherman, they just want to do the same thing you do, and that is just fish without a problem. Going down the list to the number 4 position is also another obvious one. It is simply just losing your lure the second you tie it on or right after you bought it. I like to tie my own flies, so for me it's actually a hobby I enjoy, and I like to invest time in tying my flies. I might just drink a beer, or whatever, and just take 20 minutes, 30 minutes to tie a clouser fly or a woolly bugger, and then I get really excited when it looks good. I get out to the water and some mysterious branch or log or mysterious object in the water seems to snag it right when I get the chance to fish it. And right in the middle of the pack at the number 3 position is misleading Google Maps information. Like a lot of other anglers, I use Google Maps to find new potential locations to fish, and sometimes they look way better from air than they do when you show up. I like to fish a lot of these creeks and bayous, and sometimes I show up and they're just simply way too shallow. You can see right to the bottom and you can simply see there's no fish there at all. So number 3, misleading Google Maps information. And in the number 2 slot is a personal problem of mine because I like to walk the shore without reeling in all of my fly line. I tend to gather it in my left hand and stalk fish, or maybe find a new location to cast from, and then when I drop the fly line ready to make my next cast, it ends up tangling in the air and I actually lose my opportunity to cast, sometimes scaring the fish, and it actually frustrates me quite a bit. And in the number 1 position is my biggest pet peeve of all. It is when my friends or my brother ask me where I want to fish, and we've all lived in the same area for so long that we simply just cannot make up our minds of where to go. Sometimes certain locations aren't productive, sometimes the creeks are too low, the bayous are too low, we're just not catching fish anywhere, but we want to go. But that is the biggest problem of it all. You have to fight through that issue and go try fishing anyway, because you never know what areas are going to hold a fish. You never know what place is going to get you that big bass. So that's why they call it fishing and not catching. You have to try anyway. So I want to thank you guys for coming down to the beautiful creek with me again today. I'm probably going to go run back, grab my fly rod, and try to catch me a ditch pickle with my brother. I'll see you guys on the next one. Texas Rigged out.